This portion of Local Lifestyles is sponsored by the Illinois Credit Union League.
Summertime's travel time for many American families, and of course using credit is the preferred method of payment on the road, in the air, and on the sea. But there are some important things to know before you go. Ashley Sharp is the Vice President of State Advocacy and Legislative Counsel for the Illinois Credit Union League. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. As I read the material, I was telling my producer, I said, there's some very important information in this particular interview that folks need to know. So what do we need to do before, as we're planning our summer trip and thinking about how we're going to pay for everything?
Absolutely. I think there are a lot of things that consumers should be aware of when they look to book their summer travel. Primarily the benefits of using cards. So the convenience of card use, the global acceptance of cards that avoids the need to carry large amounts of cash or exchange currency when we're talking about international travel, and just simply the ease of using cards. Cards offer great rewards that can help families save on flights, hotels, rental cars, and as we know, travel is really expensive. So especially when you're traveling with a family and booking during peak travel season, leveraging card rewards can help make trips more affordable and also offer a lot of fraud protection as you enjoy your travels.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because that's like one of the hot topics in the news and on social media about fraud and fraud prevention. What advice do you have for folks as they're using their credit cards and hoping that they're not scammed or part of a fraud?
Sure, and payment fraud attempts are up by 85%. We're seeing too good to be true scams all over the place. They're designed by default to get your credit card information and attempted fraud efforts. So credit cards do remain the most secure way to pay. They offer zero liability fraud protection, so protecting consumers. Credit card companies are investing billions of dollars in security to offer stronger fraud protections than cash and other methods of payment. So we also offer transaction alerts to make consumers aware when there's some unusual behavior or unusual activity on the account. That can help prevent from scams. The other thing is that consumers can obviously remain vigilant and checking their account statements to make sure that they're not seeing any unusual activity. And if they are, obviously contacting your bank, credit union, or credit card issuer right away to let them know that there's some unauthorized activity going on that card.
So to stay on top of it, for sure. Now, Ashley, for our Illinois viewers, what are some legislative threats out there to maybe rewards and fraud prevention?
Yes, so last May there was an undebated last-minute provision that was included in our Illinois budget package that would establish Illinois as a radical outlier in our global payment system. So this has the potential to really upend the way that credit and debit cards work across the state of Illinois, and any Illinois-based transaction would be subject to this law. So the consumers that are in the surrounding states should also be aware if they're traveling through Illinois, you know, even going through O'Hare and buying a coffee, this law would impact that transaction. So from a consumer perspective, we're very concerned about the way that the law presents a new way for calculating electronic transactions. It could ultimately, result in a loss of benefits to cardholders if it goes into effect. There is a July 1st impending implementation date, and there's no workable technology on hand to comply with this. So this could result in a very chaotic experience at the register for millions of credit card users, as well as small businesses across Illinois.
There's a lot there to kind of process. Ashley, send our viewers, please, to a website where they can learn more.
Absolutely. We invite you to learn more by going to guardyourcard.com/Illinois.
Thank you, Ashley, so much. Great information.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back with more Local Lifestyles right after this. Stay with us.
Local Lifestyles is sponsored by the Illinois Credit Union League.